앉아. 청 어디 갔어? 청 우리
코리안이.
이쪽으로 오시죠. 이쪽으로요? 이쪽에 앉으세요. 앉아서 얘기만 해주시면 돼요.
Again, if I would ask you all to please introduce yourselves, and then we'll start with questions from our audience. Thank you.
우리 먼저 인사하시죠 저희가. 네.
Yeah, let me introduce myself. My name is Ye Lee, who came from Cruz America, located in Metro Atlanta area. Nice to meet you.
This is Sid Ryu, the Vice Chairman and CEO of Chaos Group, located in Korea.
My name is Tong Soo Chung. I go by TS Chung. I'm the Chief Legal Officer for SNE Solution from Korea.
Thank you. Together, SNE Solution is 정동수, SNE Solution. Yes, I English detail and explaining and Dr. Zhang. Okay. Yeah. 이종복. Yes. Lee.
My name is Yang Young-sok.
SNE Solution Vice Chairman, Mr. Ju Tae-yoon.
Like yesterday, we're going to make this short. With your help. Any questions from the audience?
우리 회장님 먼저 인사 한번 하시죠. 인사 어떻게 했어요?
어저께
그럼 제가 먼저 말씀을 드리겠습니다. 먼저 저희 이 9번째 우리 바이오 이코노미 프롬을 준비해 주신 우리 고 대표님 어디 갔죠? 먼저 고 대표님한테 박수로 한번 이렇게 했으면 좋겠습니다. 예.
He wants everyone to join hands to express appreciation for Janice Ko for organizing the 9th Bioeconomy Forum.
그리고 지금 여기 자리에 참석해 주신 우리 칼빈세이 위원님하고 우리 콩 위원님께도 이렇게 감사드립니다.
Also many thanks for Senator Calvin Say for attending and helping us organize this forum. Thank you.
저희 SNE 솔루션이 하와이에 와서 처음 간 데가 빅아일랜드의 여기 호아누아의 발전소입니다. 제 폰에 이렇게 이게 픽처로 찍어가지고 제가 가지고 다니고 있어요.
The first place that the SNE solution people visited in Hawaii was on the Big Island, a power plant. Konoha?
호누아.
Konoha?
네, 호누아. 바이오매스 플랜트.
It's a biomass power plant.
그런데 기적이 일어난 거는 어제 여기에 사장님께서 저희 이 포럼을 듣고 바이오매스가 아니라 이제 수소로 전환하는 거에 대한 이렇게 의논을 하러 내일 다시 오시겠답니다.
He got a great news that the owner of the plant will come to talk with Mr. Lee at the SNE Solution tomorrow, maybe to convert the plant to hydrogen.
네. 저희가 그 하와이 와서 이제 이런 수소 발전에 대한 그 기획을 한 지가 이제 벌써 2년 차가 돼 가는데요.
We are into the second year of planning for conversion of power plants in Hawaii to hydrogen.
네, 그간 노력해 주신 우리 마이클 그리고 파블로, 세르지오, 그러니까 그것도 기술에 대한 어떤 설명 너무 고맙고요.
And we want to thank the people who've been involved on the technology side, starting with Mike Upshaw, Sergio, and Pablo from eCombustible.
그리고 좀 아까 이제 저기 있네. 우리 앵카베 또 우리 잭 그다음에 글렌 그다음에 같이 이렇게 또 말씀해 주신 거에서도 감사드립니다.
And also want to thank Bilal and Jack from NCAP and Infusion Energy America, as well as Glenn Scott, sharing his expertise on digital twin and other critical technologies.
이런 기술들이 같이 이곳 하와이에서 같이 이렇게 융합해서 저희가 이제 준비한 글로벌 자금들과 같이 이렇게 어우러져서 하와이에서 이제 꽃을 피울 것입니다.
All of these technologies will come together in Hawaii, together with capital from and through SNE to finally bloom beautiful flowers.
예, 어제 말씀드렸지만 저희가 지금 하와이에 2기가와트 그리고 금액으로는 2.5 빌리언을 지금 준비하고 있고 준비가 다 됐습니다.
2 gigawatt?
네, 2기가.
Altogether, we're planning for a conversion of almost 2 gigawatts worth of energy in Hawaii into hydrogen, and this will will require mobilization of about $2.5 billion.
그 첫 번째로 그러니까 5.5억 불, 5.5억 불을 먼저 363메가와트를 진행할 예정입니다.
The first part of that will be $550 million for 3 power plants. We talked about that yesterday, about 365 megawatts worth of energy.
많은 여기 계신 기술과 그 다음에 여기 지역의 또 정부와 모든 분들이 같이 정리가 되면 저희가 한국에 지금 준비하고 있는 게 굉장히 많아요. 그래서 하와이에서 정리하고 그 다음에 한국에 가서 꽃을 피울 것입니다.
The realization of these goals will require collective efforts from the technology people as well as the state and government municipal leaders. But after we do these projects in Hawaii, about 2 gigawatts, we'll then go to Korea, which is a much larger market because the
그 부분에 대해서 이제 한국에 있는 이렇게 열심히 해서 한국에 있는 금융사들이 한국 내 아까 80기가와트를 진행하는 거에 대해서 다 동의를 했고 지금 하와이에서 진행되는 것을 지켜보고 있는 상황입니다.
So the investors and financial institutions in Korea are excited about the huge opportunities in Korea through hydrogen, and they're paying attention now to what's going to happen in Hawaii because it's the first place we're going to do 100 megawatt, 200, 300 megawatt projects.
하와이가 전 세계의 그린 발전에 대한 모델하우스가 되기를 기원하면서 마치겠습니다.
So I want to close my remarks by wishing all of our collectively best. Not yet?
Question? Yes.
Questions?
I'm going to take the MC's prerogative. As a local official, I recognize that the public sector, particularly the government side, the local government and to some degree the state side, apologies, Calvin, we don't necessarily like to move so quickly. Right? There's a concern that we have with making the wrong call on some of these really large decisions. Right? It's part of the reason why we're still building these large battery storage locations because we know at least that they work, or we've seen that they work, and so that we can do that. But the ability to look beyond the horizon is difficult for us. So here's your opportunity to tell us we need to stop doing that. How do we get past in the public sector? Maybe the better question is, as you take a look at what we just saw, the technology elements, so things that look really exciting, and yet our ability not to move our feet out of the mud, how do you do that? How do you say, yeah, that's worth going after, and then I can bring my government, folks with me?
Well, I think Dr. Ning said earlier he's been talking about hydrogen for over 30 years. Now, this is our 9th forum in Hawaii also. So why are you saying you're taking a hurried action to begin with? So my view is that we've talked enough, and it's time for action. Now, the technology people who've just preceded us have shown in various areas that they've been working on this for many years. This is not something that just happened yesterday, and we're talking about this for the first time here today or yesterday. I know Pablo's company has been working on this technology for a number of years, and they've gone through extensive phases of testing by third parties, very well respected, internationally recognized third-party authentication agencies that provided testing. So they have not just a test to prove the effectiveness of their technology, they have now installed on a commercial basis at projects and factories in Pamesa, Valencia, Spain, where a number of us went a couple of weeks ago to really look at. We walked through the facilities. We looked at. We saw that they're providing energy, replacing natural gas. So these are things that are already working, so past the verification stage. Now, Jack and Bilal talked about their technology that they've been working and they've been waiting to see the tens of thousands of installations proving performance over a number of years before going to the next stage. So I think the e-combustible solution, the green hydrogen that we want to do in Hawaii is now past the talking stage. I think nobody can really criticize us for hurrying into action because we've proven its effectiveness through a number of stages at a number of different locations around the world. And more than anything else, people with money, the investors, are ready to invest. So now I think you just need to work with us and get the first of these projects done, whether it's the 200 megawatt coal conversion project or the Pearl Harbor or the Scottsfield Army Barracks. And we really want to provide clean, green energy to the people of Hawaii and help reduce your high utility bills. I don't think anybody will attack Senator Say for doing that.
To answer to your question, going back to the government procedures of policy changing and legislative actions, and it takes months and years, especially in Hawaii. And what our approach will be, even today after the forum, we do have a meeting at the Hawaii State Energy Office with Mark Glick and Kirsten Turner. And they obviously want to work with e-combustible because right for now, that's the only solution that was given to them for the application, actually, for the grant, federal grant. So that's how, I'm not saying that Hawaii is desperate, but in a way that we have set the stage already. And then, but also the Coastwire executives here, why they're so important is they made the private investment, very successful investment in the Makalei golf course, and they had 1,000 acres of land, happened to have on the with golf course. And so they have a different plan there, coffee farm plantation, but also we hope to deploy one of the smaller scale, but they need probably 3 megawatt the capacity, and it could be the storage or something that could be off-grid model from NCAP, Evotax. So we do have so it could be less than the procedure that PUC need to be involved, so under 3 megawatt, and it could be completely microgrid model. And so we could do it at the Macaulay Golf Course. That's what Coastwire executives are here. People even talking about steel production. So then somehow we talked about microgrid for years and years. And microgrid with solar, microgrid with ESS, microgrid with lithium. We've done that. We've failed it all in a way. So we, in a way, we are at a moment of transformation with the disruptive energy technology. That's why I was very excited and happy to see all these incredible experts from different parts of the world. And Dubai and Germany and Spain, incredible, already commercially applicable. So that's why, I mean, I've seen over hundreds, hydrogen R&D universities and private sector who obviously investing and also working with the government for all those grant monies. But one that what Ecombustive has done it is just incredible. 900 megawatt, 3,000 megawatt. Goodness, we're talking about 3 kilogram, and then it's all on the news. And 900 megawatt, 3,000. That's incredible. What they have done is really transformative, and so that's why Hawaii is too small to pass, right? And I go, what Hawaii can offer? Well, obviously, we have a speaker say here, and now we got Doug Adams here. We have obviously the little old lady Janice here. So having our ideas of how do we support Hawaii to be recognized with all the mission and vision the government had proclaimed, what Mark Glick said yesterday. So after this forum, our work begins. So we have a meeting with Hiko, we have a meeting with, who knows what it is flying in. He's desperate. So we believe that we could provide certain, and also, Tom Sorensen was here all day. My goodness, he's the largest European investor in Hawaii. And then he said he'd be here for 2 hours, and he was there all day. And we are setting up meetings with him, and we are meeting with Hiko. The gas company, deployed one of the executives. So we see the incredible interest and consideration. So going back to your great question from public official, that we will start with a very small 3 megawatt level that PUSH doesn't have to worry about. We doesn't have to worry about legislative process. So we will do our best to provide a model that could set the tone that what could be done without lengthy process of permitting and all that. So we could deploy the 20-footer container with the incredible model to have a model here. And it's not pilot, it's already proven. And so that's why the government official doesn't have to worry. And that's what the Koreans are ready, obviously. They want it comes to be in Korea. And we could bypass Hawaii, obviously. But then do we want to see that bypassing? And then, so this is an opportunity, because we are here with, Jackson Sayama and Representative Sator Kong, Samuel Sator Kong, and Speaker Say. And because they are the visionary, they are the one who, with unwavering vision for Hawaii. And so, and also Doug, you have a great background and also supporting Mayor Roth. And I believe what you have provided and, presided entire forum, which was an honor for us. And so we'll just begin our work small, but just step by step. And government will follow us or not. So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. The work begins. So we're very happy to start the work with Coastwire and the SNE solution and HANA International and CKT. They are in talent, working hard to get the funding moving. So it is a behind the scene, unseen to our eyes. It's happening. So it's good for us. So I wanted to answer to your question, Doug, with my gratitude. to you.
Glenn.
I think one of the interesting observations of being here is I live on an island in the Mediterranean, and what Hawaii has is all the elements where you have to be self-sustainable, being in the middle of the ocean. So you have all of the challenges that you need to deal with in one place, and all of your departments can work together to bring this, to fruition, where it becomes a very good example for the rest of the world. And I know this might, I think you saw my opening about Ubuntu and that kind of stuff, and I think if Hawaii does lead the way here in showing the rest of the world how to do things in a greener way, I think that is a message that resonates with Hawaii, just as the little I know of it, but it's certainly a message that could get out to the rest of the world, that Hawaii was part of that revolution that started this. And I think it's, that's something we could take to the rest of the world very interestingly. And I, just speaking to a lot of the people that I've met, in passing by, I'm not talking about people in this forum. It's just, I think that's a really cool message. So, if that helps, I think you have an opportunity here to lead a way. But it is going to take brave steps, and nothing in life is certain other than, the carbon is the problem.
Well, that's, I think, very good message. Thank you, Glenn. I talked about yesterday Cyprus and Jeju Island. Those are all islands, but Jeju Island is very close to the Korean Peninsula, and Malta is not that far from the countries. Mediterranean is much narrower body of sea, whereas Pacific is huge. And Hawaii is very far from any major land. You're hours by flight. So you're much more isolated in that regard. So that actually enhances the need to be more independent, energy independence, and other independence as well. So if you make it a success here, I think it'll be really an excellent example for the rest of the world, for many, many islands in the world. Yes, sir.
I have a question. Several years ago in Saudi Arabia, there was a proposal to create green hydrogen and ship it to Japan. And the costs for creating the green hydrogen from the sun in Saudi Arabia were supposedly good enough that this would pay. Is Hawaii in a situation, do you think, where we could one day be shipping green hydrogen to Korea or other places in Asia?
I'm not sure whether I'd be the right person to answer that question. Pablo, you want to answer that, or? Pablo.
With the technology nowadays that is changing so much, like our technology, it wouldn't make sense, in my opinion, because it's going to be much cheaper to produce the on site in Japan or in any other island rather than to produce and start the distribution. One of the beauty of our technology is that you can do it anywhere in the planet. So we are cutting all the distribution costs that is also attached to CO2 emissions. So I don't see why Japan is going to buy hydrogen or e-combustible from another place when they can do it in their own land.
So technology is one issue, but economics is certainly in a way more important issue, because, as I said, Hawaii is so far away from any other place, so there's a lot of logistics costs involved in shipping. Even if you are technologically capable of doing so, it may not make financial sense to do that. Now, even Saudi Arabia, they're talking about becoming the largest hydrogen exporter, but they're not just talking about exporting hydrogen as such, but exporting it in the form of ammonia or in other ways. So the exporting of green hydrogen as hydrogen may be a different matter. Yes, sir.
I'm an architect, and when I want to sell ideas to people, I really like making models. We give toys to talking to a developer of a 50-story building in New York City, and he had a jeweler make up a model of the building, and it was about so big, about two inches big. And he went to the meeting with the client, and he went into his pocket, pulled out the model, and put up as far away from the client on the table as he could. And they had lunch. But the whole time during lunch, all the person wanted to do was pick up the model. When you see something, you understand. When you just touch something, you can believe in it. You understand it deeper. Even a child can look at a model and bring up questions that adults haven't even thought of. And that goes for everybody in the community. What my suggestion would be is to basically work with an educational institution like the University of Hawaii and getting any one of the departments up there to just teach one course about your technology. And you will embarrass the local politicians to actually do something, because all of a sudden the kids know more than they do. So I would suggest that you make a model and take it wherever you want to in the world, and take it to schools. Don't take it to the adults. The adults will find it out, but they'll find out through the children.
Well, thank you. General?
I've been doing hydrogen with the legislature for a long time, and I'm not the pioneer in the state of Hawaii. We had a congressional member named Spark Matsunaga back in, I don't know, 60s or 70s.
Senator Matsunaga, yes, we remember him.
He started hydrogen in Hawaii decades ago, so 30 years ago, like in Vietnam, and it never took. But I think Pablo hit it on the head. It all comes down to money. The first thing I got when I started working on hydrogen in Hawaii was from the University of Hawaii. I won't mention the gentleman's name, but he's considered a reputable hydrogen person. He says, Stan, I've got patents in hydrogen. It doesn't pencil out. You guys are the economic council. You're the experts in that. Pablo said it best. It pencils out now. If the legislature can't see that, and you guys are willing to build a model so everybody else can see it, I think that's a huge mistake. It's economic now. It's economical. The timing is right. The global market is accepting it and working towards hydrogen equipment that uses hydrogen to travel, to back up, electrical systems, to transport hydrogen around when you need it. But the solutions are there, and now it pencils out. So you folks are coming in, and you have the foresight, and you've seen it works, and you're willing to invest. So being here, I agree with everyone that doing it in Hawaii makes the most sense anywhere, because you look at the computer and you go, what is Wikipedia? It comes from the Hawaiian word wiki, which means quick. Hawaii's always been a center of developing and export. We talked a little bit at my table last night about surfing. Unless you're a surfer, you don't understand what surfing really means. But once you do it, it's a life-changing experience. It starts at home.
Thank you for that. And Pablo said earlier, in the earlier panel, that there's no reason not to do it, right? He's come up with the fuel, and you have no reason not to do it. And we're not interested in just doing a model. We actually want to build, replace 200 megawatt plant. And we want to make it work and provide energy to HECO and to the consumers in Hawaii.
Just one last comment I'd like to say. I look at the Ukraine war on YouTube. I'd like to see your product. I'd like to see your whole proposition on a YouTube video. You'll get so many hits.
Pablo already has a YouTube. We'll provide it to you. He even prepared a Korean language version for the Korean consumers. So.
That's different. We have the videos, and that's something that you guys have to understand. This is quite revolutionary for many things. If we, at the beginning, many technology companies that will make technology advance, there are people in the world that they are trying not to make it happen. So that's why it would be undercover, let's say, and under the radar for the last few years. And we have it in live. I mean, I showed you the other day plans that's real in my years. We said this is real. We have the opportunity to Korea. We don't do it in YouTube, we don't do it yet. I mean, soon, I would say in the next 2 months, we will have to tell to the world that this technology exists, but we are still deciding. We are still deciding if we want to do this like a huge impact to the world, and then to have the attention to all the people that they don't want this to happen. We need that in our company. I only can say I don't want to put any pressure in Hawaii, but I have to tell you that what is happening here in Hawaii is happening in many other destinations. And you have competitors. That's the reality. We cannot do this in all the places in the world at the same time. We have to choose, and we are choosing right now, and we already have projects in Brazil, coming, projects in Peru, we have projects in South Africa, we have projects in Curaçao, which is an island in the middle of the Caribbean with big refinery there. So it's a time to take decisions, because it's going to be a point where we cannot do all at the same time, all the transition. And that's why I was so excited to be here in Hawaii. When I said at the beginning, it's true. This is one of the most beautiful places in the planet. And we should start from here. It's a very good point from here. Also, our company is from the States. And it happens that we don't have any project in the States. So we have to take that into consideration. If you were Hawaii, one of the states of this amazing country, that would be amazing for the rest of the mainland to show that this is happening real in Hawaii. But you guys are the one to take the decision. You have everything that to take the decision. You have the technology proven, you have the people, nice people that are coming with the investment, ready to do it. It's not your time to do it. But if you take longer to take that decision, somebody else is going to take it, and they are taking at the same time. And it's going to be a time that that's going to be delayed.
Yes.
So to follow up with what you're saying, Pablo, and what the others on the panel said, so we who are in the community, the citizens of Hawaii, it sounds like the communities need to be the ones who are educated and understand the benefits of this, the uniqueness of this what we understand is a proprietary special type of hydrogen, which all the other hydrogen companies can't meet the affordability, because we talked about, other types of fuel are 4 to 5 times cheaper than hydrogen. And that's why it's been decades we've been talking about hydrogen, but nothing has happened. It's because of this basic, you need to have it be affordable where people will adapt it on a large scale. So if the communities understand it, and then they talk to our representatives, the policymakers have to make this decision that we're talking about, right? So the basic crux of the decision are, please confirm to us. So the reason now that we have finally investment matching with the technology is because this type of technology is for the first time, and compared to all the other hydrogen options, it's actually affordable. So it can actually be commercialized in a way that's productive, in a way that's where there's actually, right, where it can actually be linking affordability as well as
Investors can also make money.
investors such as the ones that you're talking about. So, yeah, you can just confirm for us, for example, from the earlier panel, there was talk about the cars in the Dominican Republic were able to do a conversion process that was affordable enough per car to convert to a different type of fuel. Your bio here says that this e-combustible can be used to modify at very low cost, minor modifications for engines, turbines, etc. So as one practical example that people can understand, can you actually convert current vehicles to use this type of e-combustible hydrogen as fuel?
Absolutely. The answer is yes. We actually have done it before. We tried the gas station, natural gas station
In Peru.
And the trucks were coming, and the taxis were coming that they use natural gas, and we just switched to e-combustible, and they keep running for months perfectly well and cheaper than the natural gas. But our advice on this would be, you have to focus which one is the priority and where is the volume to utilize. We can do the transformation in electric vehicles, but the
So the Hawaii State Energy Office and then the Federal Department of Energy designated, they're applying for the grant to make Hawaii a hydrogen hub, right? So sounds like from your technology is the only hydrogen technology that would actually be affordable and profitable in a way that it could actually become commercialized and adopted by the population. Is that what we're to understand? Is that this proprietary type of hydrogen is really the key? This is the difference why it's a game changer?
That's absolutely right. Actually, I mean, even if you guys, for different reasons, don't want to do anything with us, our recommendation is think twice about to have a hub of hydrogen. Who is going to pay for that hydrogen? And how are we going to use it? Because in our know-how, which is quite vast in the hydrogen, after 14 years in this industry, it doesn't make any sense.
So only your know-how, which is already in practice in Spain, Valencia, it's actually operating, it's being adopted by the European Union, the third largest.
We have the certification, of course, to run the plant, and the legislation also approved to move in this direction, because at the end is hydrogen, so the hydrogen is already regulated.
So this game
But it's
changer
not because,
scenario.
once again, it's not because us, but we don't know any other plant in the world.
This
that is running with
game-changing technology,
Yes.
which is unique from all the other hydrogen production technologies, is the reason why finance is matching with the technology and willing to come to Hawaii. Is that right?
That's it. That's the reason.
Okay.
But remember that other manufacturers has electrolyzers in the market. So Siemens has one of them, and one is cost. So that's the barrier that we are across.
And can we confirm that from the financing side? Is that why this game-changing
SNE solution, yes, is working with e-combustible fuel. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Janice.
Pardon? I worked with DBED and the Energy Office in the past.
Well, there is other technology out there, and I would say it's gotten cheaper. I don't know that it compares to Pablo, but I think you can't just sit there and say this is the one.
All right, so I think this is obviously conversations that we can have immediately after this, and I would encourage that. Janice, you had something?
Absolutely. We do have a meeting today with Margaret and this afternoon regarding, so not only the technology application, obviously they are, basing the deadline. And what the content of the technology has been e-combustible all along. And this is the first time actually meeting, we met with the, energy office before, just a few weeks ago, in preparation of e-combustible coming to Hawaii and public being in Hawaii. And that's why the meeting was taking place today. And at the same time, also even for the federal grant, they need a matching fund in order to get the federal grant. And so Hawaii was looking into the budget desperately. And so that somehow we are coming in with the private sector for indirect investment model to support the Hawaii, effort. So that's why it's not only the economy and investment and technology, we are supporting Hawaii's effort in that part. That's why the President's office is very interested in meeting with us and actually talking. They are working on all the applications for federal grant for months and months, and they're facing the deadline. So that has been that has to be the commercially approved technology. That happens to be from the get-go. So that's why it never changed in a way. And so we cannot say this is the only technology, but somehow Hawaii has selected, reviewed, and it was presented, accepted by the state energy office to be done. For now, on the alternative. So that's what I said regarding to.
Yeah, because community support is vital for any project to go from the blueprint drawing board into actual real life operation. And the communities need to support it in order for the policymakers to make the decision, right? And so, that this whole area of community benefits and getting
putting you on the spot.
I want to thank Janice and Michael then for really putting this together because it did bring the expertise and the information that community uses to support, or oppose anything. But that happens when there's not enough information, right? So the ability to translate all this technical expertise into language that our residents can understand is important. Building long-term relationships with them and seeing what they're able to gain an advantage of for long-term, right? Not just one project, 25 or 30 years for us as a generation. We plan out for like 5 to 7 generations, and I'm sure many of your culture also do the same thing, right? So when we're looking at beneficial partnerships, which includes technologies, expertise, people, and finances that come in, we're looking at things that can help us to elevate our quality of life for our people and bring jobs, stimulate industry, so that our children can grow up into a much more prosperous community. We want them to stay here. I'm sure in other smaller communities, when you don't have enough opportunity, your people begin to leave, right? We don't want that for our people. We want there to be good jobs, good income, good health, everything that makes a community healthy and prosperous. We want technologies, we want partnerships, financial support that comes in that supports that in the long term. So that's just my comment on that. Also, this appreciating what we have here, and that we have the opportunity to be in these partnerships. So, mahalo.
So I'd like to again thank the panel for being up here and stimulating the kind of conversation that will lead us to the future here and for the globe. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mahalo. Thank you, Doc.
So as we finish up with the forum, I would like to ask the originator of this forum, Speaker Say, to please come up and make a few comments.
Okay, this is it Doug? This is afternoon or morning? See it. Okay, this is still morning. So good morning to all of you. And let me just say this to all of you. This being the 9th forum that we've conducted, I feel so happy and elated because I think for both Stan and I was there when Senator Matsunaga was there in the U.S. Congress. And his number one project was not hydrogen, but OTEC, Ocean Thermal Energy Conversion. And I thank all of you and the Lord for the opportunity. I'm just here as a facilitator in having that commitment and perseverance. If not for today, in it, Pablo and Sergio, to Mr. Sheik and others, and the Korean delegation, it has bear some fruit of the commitment we've made to hydrogen. I was just impressed with the presentations from yesterday. How would you say it? Pablo, what's the name of your e-combustible? Where would any of us in Hawaii known about e-combustible?
That's the first I've heard of it.
Yes, same. What did I hear about Mr. Sheik and others, and Jack and others, as far as storage batteries? And finally, bringing these two parties together with the Korean delegation, Mr. Lee, thank you for your commitment for Hawaii. It is not for us. It is for the future. And for me, saying this, I can recall we have a hydrogen fuel cell project up in is it volcano for the Big Island. We have a project here at Hickam for hydrogen fuel cell research. Yes, so we are moving ahead, but more importantly, this is not about me. It's about individuals like former Representative Jerry Chang, Sam Kong, Jackson Siama, and Janice that will be taking over this particular forum because I'm sorry, I'm not in the state anymore, but at the city council. But I would say this to all of you. I give you my 100% in saying that we do become the state of Hawaii, first and foremost, as the hydrogen hub of the Pacific. I'm happy to share with all of you also. Dr. Nee, thank you very much, because I did tell Doug, if it is possible, if you could work out a relationship with the University of Hawaii Hilo in regards to the UAB, the University for the Asian Development Bank funds. Is Mr. Ra here? Thank you very much also for your insights on it, and maybe we could get the university. Because at the end of the day, by the year 2030, I hope we will be sustainable, the state of Hawaii, that we can survive on ourselves, we can be resilient on ourselves. Let's not depend on other imports that we do today, but we are the ones exporting. So in closing, I just wanted to say thank you very much to all the guest speakers, Sam Kong, Jackson Siama, and Janice, for a job well done, and just keep up the good work, move forward, and like Shar, like the Hawaiians say, imua, let's move forward, not backwards, move forward, and we are moving forward. So if there's anything you folks need help with at the county level, just give me a call for the city and county of Honolulu, and we've got contacts with the other counties. But the three projects that they have in mind, I really hope it will turn out to be very, very beneficial for the greater good of our community. And that way we'll meet our 2045 deadline, no more fossil fuels. Thank you.
Janice, did you want to say anything? You had the, yep, okay. Representative Kong's folks came to get him to do a vote, I believe is what I heard. So he was here, he was ready to do it, but I think he had to go do a vote. So otherwise I would have called him up. Okay.
In closing, I wanted to thank Doug Adams for presiding over this forum and emceeing. Thank you so much. It's a heavy-duty job, and you've done great. And all of you attending, especially from Representative Samuel Satoru Kong's office, June Kong, and also Kevin Wilson. I actually wanted to put him on a committee member, but because they are publicly employed, and then I couldn't actually put in a committee, but Kevin Wilson was more than a committee member, and so is Evelyn He. Evelyn He started from the first forum with Speaker Say.
Also announce the forum committee.
Yes, thank you. And Speaker Say wanted to, the council member Say wanted to recognize our foreign committee members, including council member Carmen Say, the Michael Upshaw, Brett Harmon. They are from California. And Mr. Jong Bok Lee from SN Solution, and from Korea, Mr. Sid Ryu from Coastwire from Korea and Atlanta and Vietnam. And Sidney Higa, our local boy, we could do without you. And Nolan Johnson, he did a lot of heavy loading yesterday. We really appreciate it from Big Island. And Doug McConnell, obviously we couldn't do without 100% corner coffee from your plant. It was beautiful and tasty. And also, lastly, Scotty Wang, he brought in the Olelo broadcasting engineers, and they are taping entire event to be available And we did have some technical glitches, but it comes with the territory. But all of committee members and all of you attending, Kevin and also Raymond coming in to be with the speakers from Europe. I think we have more foreign visitors than our local presence, local audience. So this is very unique forum, obviously international and very global, and I can say it's almost like a European conference. So I really appreciate all of you traveling from all the way from Dubai, and Malta, and Spain, and Germany, and California, and and also Dr. Ra from ADB headquarters from Manila, and Dr. Nin from Vietnam, all the way to come. And this is truly a blessing for all of us to see. Dr. Nin has been here from the first year, and he comes here almost every year to speak at the forum. And Dr. Ra, I've been working with him in Korea. He got stuck for COVID. I got stuck in Korea for 2 years. And somehow we had a very productive meeting in Korea. And because obviously we were all having those uncontact environment. But somehow for a lot of us also were able to focus on and have those productive time. And also having T.S. Chung come with the SNE, joining with the investment and also as a legal counsel. And that's a blessing. And also lastly, the CoastWire having incredible partner for SNE. I believe their partnership with POSCO and all of those corporate relationship in Korea has been outstanding. And they started investing in Hawaii on the Big Island. I think that was significant. And we believe the CoastWire will come back for a different project. And they're very interested in hydrogen and also NCAP and supercapacitor project, working with SNE. So we are so grateful for General and Sini for bringing your Indonesian Chamber of Commerce. Yesterday we had the Republic of Korea Consul General's office sent the consular section, economic council. She came all day yesterday. And so we will have a very productive after forum meetings starting this afternoon. And we'll hope to give you an update through Speak Say, and we'll report to Representative Kong's office and also Jackson Hyman's office and our committee chair, Councilmember Calvin Say, and also now Doug Adams. You are now part of our problem and solution. So I appreciate all of you, and also Sharp. We will see you, and we'll continue discussion of how we can work from community, just like how you mentioned, and that is a very important movement. We are here to support the community, and that commitment that we wanted to show you through this forum stage. So with that, thank you so much, and maybe the 10th will be a reporting forum for all the outcomes that happened from 9th. And we look forward to seeing you again, and hope to give you all the report come from not only from Hawaii, but from Korea and Cyprus and from all other world that obviously the ambassador has been very successfully working. Hopefully they don't forget us, hope they don't pass us. So that's what our request. Remember Hawaii, and remember Korea, remember Vietnam. And all of the countries are waiting to be transformed. And also, obviously, what General Wharton mentioned about humanity, energy for humanity, and that's what we are here for. You are the leaders, and carrying out the heavy load to change and transform to a net zero world. And I think it's possible, and that's what I'm very excited. Like I always had that, nightmare of the lithium ESS battery plant having fires all over the place after spending millions and millions of dollars and had no solution. And now with NCAP and Evotax, and it's incredible to see this far advanced technology, and that's what the promising, I think, for our next generation, is that we don't have to worry about coal-fired power plant fuming the CO2 massively, and by shutting down that from Hawaii, it's very significant, and so we are here to support and working together with all of you. So thank you again. Thank you, Doug.
And with that, we're adjourned. Thanks.